Hello, welcome to another video. We're going to do this video on German rearmament, secret German rearmament after World War I. That's the second part of the process, the history that led up to World War II. The source is Winston Churchill, The Gathering Storm, his works on the Second World War. This is volume 1. So here we go. And Churchill comments this, there's the rise of nation states. Right, there were small communities after the Roman Empire fell and the nation states, Clovis founds France, Germany is founded much later. And there's towns and villages and they become cities. So nation states are when these towns, villages, these cities associate under a common language and culture. So that whole process of enlarging the economy and the growth of the world, it also leads with the growth of industry and also the Industrial Revolution. It leads to the potential for mass slaughter. Okay, and Churchill says all the individual virtues, everybody being diligent, being responsible with money, being profitable. So that's harnessed to produce, and the press does this, and leaders of peoples, they harness all the individual virtues of many virtues. All that power is harnessed to create a massive war machine, a destructive capacity, finances, capital, science, discipline, education as well, trains people how to think, and that's all used towards thinking about how to destroy. And that's happening, and it comes into fruition with World War I, but it's still happening, right? Democracies come and people's wills are united in the prospect of slaughter, right? The war machine, there's an arms race, the turn of century 1900, and science is producing these weapons, machine guns, all kinds of things. Physics, the knowledge of all these things. Rocketry is starting with Goddard. And by the way, I have other sources, other books I've read that I'm going to be drawing upon. Goddard, Americans, Germans in the 20s are advancing rocketry, and so science is able to produce products, great products, but are also they'll be weaponized by political parties, by peoples who put certain characters in power. Churchill, and I'm going to read this quote, "Nothing was wasted that could contribute to the process of waste." Okay, and he's talking about World War I still, that everything, all the sciences, there's health is in hospitals are bringing the wounded back to the surgeries, it's bringing the wounded back to the front lines to kill more people. Railroads, car transportation is bringing masses of people's weapons as well. You know, factories are making weapons, science, physics, and all the rest is making it explosive. So all of that is, and investors now today are investing in drone technology and making a lot of money with the Ukraine war. But so it's the same thing. It's a war machine. Other people have called it the military-industrial complex. Well, Churchill says it's nations doing this. Nation states, peoples. Okay, peoples are doing this. And why? Well, that's another question. But this is what is happening. And so this great war breaks out. There's this process of waste, of destruction of the entire world. And it's in Europe, right? And it's a world war that's fought beyond Europe, but it's not the scale of World War II, okay? This is a prelude. This is a prelude to, this is the Great War, the Great War. Huge amounts of There's poison gas used. There's all kinds of things, new technologies that aren't used. Not all of them are used, except by the Nazis used the gas to exterminate Jews and other gypsies, people they don't like or they hate. But those are not used on the battlefield because of the horror of gas attacks in World War I. So 1919 is approaching, and all these powers, all these individuals, and all these factories and government offices and hospitals that are going towards this war effort, which is, he calls this war effort the process of destruction, because borders are not being changed, disputes not being settled, people are just dying for almost no reason. And this is the First World War.